you can trust God. He wants you to know his will. So, knowing that, here are the 3 questions. If you ask these 3 questions on a regular basis, there is no way you will ever miss God's call for your life. Question number 1, am I in a state of grace? Number 1, am I in a state of grace? You know what a state of grace is, right? That's being free of mortal sin. If I'm not in a state of grace, get in a state of grace. Question for all y'all, how do you get into a state of grace? Confession, exactly. You guys, well done. You learned something this week. Proud of you. So, am I in a state of grace? If not, go to confession. If yes, well done. Check. Go on to question number 2. Question number 2 is this. Am I doing my daily duties? Thinking about poop. Am I doing my daily tasks? Which means I'm looking at my calendar, okay, on my schedule. I'm supposed to go to class at 8. Did I do that? I'm supposed to meet up with someone at 12. Did I do that? I told my parents that I would go home and help them move. Did I do that? So am I doing my daily duties? If I'm not, start. If I am, wonderful. Move on to question number 3. Question number 3 is, did I pray today? If I didn't, well then do it. And if you did, well then chill. And I promise you, if you do these 3 simple things, ask yourself, am I in a state of grace? If not, get in one. Am I doing my daily duties? If not, start. And did I pray today? If not, do it. Then there is no way you'll ever miss your vocation, because here's the thing. If you're in a state of grace, that means you're tuned in to the Lord's voice. That means you're plugged in to the Lord's power. Now, God can always work through us, even if we're not in a state of grace, because when you go to confession, that's God working on you to get you to confession. So God can always work on you, but if you want to guarantee that you're plugged into God, get into a state of grace. You're opening up the clear communications. The second thing, am I doing my daily duties? You know, there's so many people who will say, God, what do you want me to do next month? What do you want me to do at the end of the semester? What do you want me to do next year? If you look at your calendars, that's what God wants you to do today. So if you've scheduled into your day, I pray every morning at 8. If you don't do that, you've said no to God's will. If you have a class that starts at 10, and you don't do it, you've said no to God's will. Because this is what God's will is for you each day. So it's not just, God, what do you want me to do then? It's what do you want me to do now? Because if you get used to saying yes to God on a daily basis, when he says, I'm calling you to, well, every day you say yes. That's just another yes. So am I doing my daily tasks? Third question, did I pray today? You know, there was Archbishop Harry Flynn was the Archbishop of St. Paul, Minneapolis for a long time. And before I was ordained, I was over at his house with a bunch of guys in my class, and he brought us into a holy hour in front of the Eucharist. And he said, young men, I won't do Harry Flynn. Archbishop Flynn said, you guys, because he talks like me, guys, because I talk like Optimus Prime. Autobots, unite, young men. He said, make a holy hour every day. Because as a priest and as a Christian, you're going to say things you shouldn't have said, and you're going to not say things you should have said. You're going to do things you shouldn't have done, and you're going to not do things you should have done. And if you just keep going from day to day to day to day, and you don't stop and let the Lord correct you, you're just going to keep doing those same things. But if you go into his presence and let him speak, you're going to realize, oh, I'm on the wrong course. I need to correct. So you need to pray. Because people say, I wonder what God wants, I wonder what God wants, I wonder what God wants. If you go into prayer, you're saying, well, God, I'm giving you permission, I'm giving you freedom to tell me what you want. So here's the thing. First thing, am I in a state of grace? Second thing, am I doing my daily duties? Third thing, am I praying today? I guarantee you, this is my promise to you. If you do those things, there is no way you will ever miss out on God's will for your lives.